Honestly, if you ever watched my videos and listened to the stuff I say, you might be educated enough on the paranormal topic. You may have a shot to get into Harvard University as a teacher of the paranormal subject. Not trying to take any credits or anything, I have mentioned countless times about moving into new places, especially if the property is as old as your grandpa, but the lady in the next video isn't an enjoyer of my words. That's why she decided recently she would take such an uncalculated move. Amelia recently moved into a 250-year-old Victorian home in the UK. You heard that right, and supposedly you heard enough. Or was it enough? Because based on what we have next, you have to hear this next part. Among dirt and copper pipes, she finds a coin from 1904 in an old, unusual book. You see, the coin itself might just be an investment done by someone she never knew and was unintentionally inherited by her. But the book, that thing is a curse, if I can say the least. Inside the book itself, it's more like a photo album. But instead of normal pictures, it contains unsettling images of empty rooms in her house. What she finds in these images will send you right to sleep, because you will be just as scared as I am right now. A shadow figure seems to be present in all these pictures. Well, as scary as this sounds, there is nothing paranormal worth mentioning that has occurred. That's wrong though. After the discovery of this treasure, she began experiencing some strange and creepy occurrences. Perhaps the target board incident was rather a strange phenomenon than a creepy one, where one of the darts can be seen floating midair inexplicably. But that creepy event she had to experience was when she rushed upstairs after hearing some noises, only for the curtain to open up somehow.
I noticed that there's nothing actually holding this floorboard down, so when you walk on it, it rattles a lot. So I looked underneath the floorboard to see where I could, like, nail it down again. But I had to get my camera out because... Can you see that? That looks like something buried to me. It's wedged under the old floorboards. I don't know what that is. Hmm? Oh man, that's awesome. I'll be able to get this out. I'm gonna have to cut this because I'm gonna need both hands to get this out because it is like wedged in there. Okay, so I think it's coming out. It looks like it's got gold on it. Oh, it's coming. Whoa. It is filthy. How long do you reckon that was in there for? It's definitely a book, but they're not like actual pages, they're like really thick. Alright, I'm gonna have to open this on camera. I'm gonna clean this up because I don't want to breathe this in and make another video.
The book seemed normal at the start, filled with old portraits. But things took a creepy turn the further I went into the book. I noticed what seemed like a very old photo of my house. This is when the pictures took an unsettling turn. The rest of the album is filled with pictures of empty rooms that have an unsettling feeling. A dark shadow appears in all of these photos. I can't help but think what else could be buried under those floorboards. I will search for more hidden items.
That, and it's like, it just stopped. And now it's like... Am I tripping out?
I'm not going to lie, but she had this one coming. Forget about that treasure she found under the floor. The house itself is ancient to the point where there must have been lots of unwanted activities done inside it. The next guy thought he was safe, that no one could have touched him, as he was sitting late at night watching TV, and guess what he was watching? He was looking at some paranormal videos. Unfortunately, he was watching some other channel than mine. one that everyone is already familiar with. No, that's not the scary part. I mean, yeah, watching scary videos at a late time during the day can be considered creepy, but that's if you're doing it yourself. This guy complained about the fact that he heard some unexplained noise. He was like, the twins are sleeping comfortably, and my wife is not supposed to be mentioned because he never said a word about her. Who would be making such a weird noise? He went to check and realized it was one of his kids' toys, a toy like a musical instrument. It was playing on its own, but what creeped him out more was the fact that they, and by they I'm referring to the ghost, were responsive, as they did mess with the toy on command.
Bro, tell me why it is I'm sitting here watching Nuke's Top 5. Can you hear it? Both my twins are sleeping on the couch, soundly. Do it again, motherfucker. One more time. Oh my god. Excuse the mess. I've got 4 girls.
I would say never watch scary videos late at night again. It depends on what channel he was watching and what video in specific.
One more time.
What if the video he was watching only featured some fake clips? He might also end up being pranked instead of haunted. I don't exactly know what the next place is or what it serves, but it's abandoned and haunted. We have a team of investigators trying to prove to people that the place is haunted. It's an abandoned seminary in Cacador, Brazil. We have Jafinho, Gabriel, and Kako, and I think there is a 4th person with them if my eyes aren't deceiving me. Nevertheless, Gabriel is our golden boy here, as he will be the joke of the day. I mean, he is the target of today and the next investigation. As they entered the building, one of them immediately threw out a claim that he might have seen some sort of a shadow figure near the hole in the basement, which, by the way, when they entered, they also found a black candle, which may suggest that some dark rituals involving black magic have been done in the building. And don't think of it much, if the place is indeed haunted, it may also very well have some creeps conducting some weird rituals around. As they proceeded, they began hearing some strange noises echoing through the building, which creeped them out. But what really set the tension high was the dragging sounds they heard from the ceiling above them, and what made it worse was that it repeated multiple times right above their heads. I have told you earlier that Gabriel is the golden star of the show, and I'm not over-exaggerating here. After digging more into the building and experiencing more creepy occurrences, such as smoke filling the air out of nowhere, they eventually ended up on the 2nd floor, where the most unsettling event took place. They suddenly began hearing a voice of someone screaming, and as they turned around, not so far away from them, a dark figure was standing. After enhancing the brightness of the video, that figure was completely dark with no facial details. After Gabriel saw this apparition, he lost consciousness and fell down, which caused the whole team to check on him and hold him up so they could leave the building. The man was having some hard headaches after this incident, but his misery didn't end there, as from the outside, the shadow figure was still peeking at them from the window.
Vamos verificar aqui o porão, depois a gente volta e entra pela parte da frente ali. Isso. Isso, vamos pedir licença aqui.
Aqui, sinceramente, eu já, aqui fora já arrepiou, tá? Já arrepiou.
Peço licença aqui do local.
Valeu. Podem ir vocês aí, pesador. Eu vou ficar no meio, não vou ficar muito pra trás. Né?
Eu sei que algo habita aqui. Barulho?
Exato, dá pra ver que eu gravo.
Ah, caramba, falei pra ti, velho.
Onde é?
Aqui, ó. Pera aí. No assoalho.
Meu Deus, cara. Vamos sair daqui. Eu não, eu tô...
Peraí, rapaziada.
Quem é você aqui?
É você, padre? Eu tô vendo a porta daqui, ó. É o senhor que tá aí, padre?
Não pode, cara. Não pode. A gente tá aqui embaixo. Tá em cima. Não, gente. Ouviu?
Sim, eles arrastaram a coisa lá em cima, velho. Nitidamente.
Viu? Eu não sei se a gente tem que voltar pra casa ou a gente tem que...
Olha aí, olha. Caramba, vai cair aqui, velho. Sai daí, velho. Vai cair isso aí, velho.
Vamos lá pra cima, vamos verificar lá em cima, lá, rapaziada.
Cheguei.
Barulho lá em cima, velho. Ô, o negócio vai cair ali, velho. O negócio vai cair em cima ali, mano.
Mas a gente viu, eu falei, teve um barulho naquele banheiro ali quando a gente entrou.
Mas aqui tá
A gente tinha que ter ido.
Pô, tu quer me matar do coração, velho? Como é que tu chegou aí, cara?
louco, homem. Você quer matar a gente do coração?
Tu levou um susto também, mano?
Mas, homem do céu, eu não sabia que dava.
Como é que tu chegou aí, Jefinho?
Tem escada atrás aí, pô.
Ei, só cuida aí, pô.
Viu, aí não vai, homem, aí é perigoso. Cuidado.
Daí, Jefinho.
Viu?
Opa!
Tá dando barulho lá embaixo agora, velho.
Não.
Olha aí, velho.
Ilumina lá, bota a luz
Tá
lá.
caminhando, cara, tá caminhando.
O que é isso?
Pra direita aqui, ó.
Vamos embora desse local, gente. O que nós estamos fazendo aqui?
Vambora.
Pare.
Passou pra direita aqui, ó. Acho que eu vi só o vulto passando aqui, ó.
Chamos.
Tem uma coisa ali.
Passou pra direita aqui, ó.
Tava alguma coisa ali, ó. Tem alguma
Olha
coisa
só.
ali, ó.
Cheguei,
Vamos fazer
rapaziada.
oração, pesadão nas mãos aqui.
Bom, eu acho que é melhor nós ir ali na frente fazer oração na saída do local, tá ligado?
Vamos fazer oração. Fazer oração.
Ah, caramba! Olha aí, velho! Que isso, velho? Que isso?
Ele desmaiou, velho!
O cara desmaiou, velho! Ele desmaiou, mano! Ele desmaiou, velho!
Cadê aquela coisa?
O cara desmaiou, mano! Segura aí, eu vou te segurar, mano! Ele desmaiou, velho! Cara do céu, velho! Ele desmaiou, mano! Calma.
Segura ele aí.
Tá cheio de vidro aqui, não dá pra deitar ele aqui, mano! Não dá pra deitar ele aqui, mano!
Deixa eu soltar a câmera aqui, peraí.
Ajuda aí, velho! Ajuda aí, não dá pra deixar, tá cheio de vidro aqui, mano! Deixa ele cair, ele vai se machucar, cara! Meu Deus do céu, velho! Carrega ele, calma aí, pera, espera, não puxa ainda! Pera, caramba!
Pô, sabia que não tava vendo? Deixa eu ver aqui. Tinha um negócio aqui, velho.
Não vai lá não, Chamos. Vamos sair daqui. Chamos, não vai lá, cara. Vamos sair daqui. Chamos.
Tinha um negócio ali, Jota. Tinha um negócio ali.
Vamos levar ele aqui, vamos sair, pô.
É verdade.
Precisa ir, nós vamos, se ele precisar levar ele aqui, né, cara, vocês vão ter que ajudar.
Sim.
Porque ele não tá conseguindo andar, eu acho, cara. Nossa, que dor de cabeça. Cara, olha aí, velho. Vai melhorar.
Pô, Jota, o negócio tá aí, cara. Pô, deixa eu desligar o vídeo aqui,
Precisa da nossa ajuda, cara.
Vamos lá.
Não tá demais. Foi o primeiro sintoma que ele deu, olha só.
É que assim, ó, Gabriel, o pessoal tá fazendo só esse take.
Ah, meu Deus do céu, cara! Tá lá de novo, lá! Tira ele, cara! Sai, Gabriel! Tenta sair!
Eu vou parar aqui, cara.
Tá vindo pra cá, ajuda aqui!
Eu só vim fazer o final do vídeo aqui pra botar aquele TV, mas nós vamos encerrar aqui.
Vamos lá, velho!
Carreguei.
Vamos sair fora, velho! Vamos sair fora! Vai, desliga isso aí, cara! Desliga isso aí! Pelo amor de Deus, velho!
That guy who had his head shaved is more like a scarecrow. He is the one who keeps intensifying the atmosphere more and more. He is the one who keeps giving the biggest reaction every time something happens.
Rabinha, a gente tá aqui embaixo, tá? Rabinha, a gente tá aqui embaixo, tá? Rabinha, a gente tá aqui embaixo, tá?
I always say, and I don't think I have ever actually said this before, but ghosts can literally haunt anything and anyone. They don't consider the age of the person or the type of item they are messing with. As long as it causes panic to the person watching, it's enough. The next video features a mother named Jessica. I don't know where her husband is, but her daughter is there, and she found a partner she may not be liking much. She describes seeing a guy standing in her room, but unfortunately, the mother couldn't spot anyone. The mother has created a small toy house for her daughter that supposedly represents their own real house. Where does that thing play a part though? Well, since it's a toy house, you're the one who should be playing in it. In all seriousness though, the house itself seems to be haunted as of these news Jessica received from her daughter about a guy standing in her room. The mother has installed a doorbell camera on the toy house just like the one they have in their real house, and things just got much creepier after that. The phone application of that camera sent a notification to Jessica while she was at a party, and that just sent shivers down her spine. The notification she received was notifying her that the camera attached to the playhouse was activated somehow. But what really changed the atmosphere was the weird, scary voice you can hear in the recording. They also placed a mannequin head inside that playhouse with a wig on it. Eventually, that wig was somehow pulled up before it dropped by itself. Basically, now they have a haunted playhouse inside a real-life haunted house, which is obviously a tragedy.
What guy?
The guy.
The guy is at the door.
Guy.
Can we go together?
Yeah.
Do you want to open the door or you want mommy to open it?
I want mommy to open it.
Okay.
He's in there.
The guy?
Yeah. He's scary.
He's scary.
I'm scared.
It's okay.
No.
For a house tour of Emma's playhouse. Then Emma, I'm gonna show them the door, okay? She really wanted it to have a doorbell camera like our front door. I was just about to head out and I started getting a notification that the doorbell in my kids' room upstairs is going off.
Now they have to experience the paranormal activity on two levels. One for the daughter in her small playhouse, which they tried to renovate to replicate the real house, and paranormal activities in the big real house. They didn't just replicate the house itself, but also its haunting. I don't want to give you some goosebumps, even though this is supposed to be my job. but I will try to calm you down before the chill goes down your spine. First of all, what would be a normal approach anyone would take if they heard sounds of crying in their house late at night? Well, it would usually be that you check on your child, what could be bothering him or her, and if the child isn't the one making these crying noises, and the sound is indeed coming from within the walls of your house, if there are no electronic devices turned on that could be making these sounds, then better pack up your stuff and book a room at the closest hotel you can find in the area. It's time to move out. The example I just gave you here is the replica of the events that occurred in the upcoming video, where we have a man from Mexico, a family man, who has a 4-month-old daughter. He recently discovered that his house is haunted. He didn't hesitate whether the events are paranormal or not. These events were a direct message from the ghost. "We are haunting this place, buddy." One night he woke up to the sounds of a child crying. He went downstairs and began investigating, trying to find its source, but nonetheless, he came up short, and these sounds didn't stop that night. The man was shaking but couldn't do much. The other day, he and his family were hearing persistent knocking on their entrance door. These knocks were somewhat aggressive. The knocks were pausing at moments and resuming again. He tried to take a peek from behind the door to check if there could be some creep behind them, but unfortunately, he found no one and had to stick with the fact that his house is completely haunted.
Buenas noches. Estoy jugando Xbox. Escuchen. ¿Qué es eso? Son casi las 3 de la mañana. Hay alguien allá afuera. Hay alguien atrás. Ahí está parado. Ahí hay alguien. No veo nada. Voy a subirme. Voy a dormir. ¿Cando?
Sí. La niña empezó a llorar.
Ya no haga mucho ruido para ver quién es. No prendas. ¿Cómo rápido? Ay, ay. Está bien inquieta, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Ya son casi las 3 de la mañana. ¿Dónde están las llaves? Hoy. quédate, espérame. No hay nadie. Otra vez. No se ve nadie. Así menos. ¿Quién será? Siempre pasa lo mismo. Mira, son casi las 3 de la mañana. 25. Siempre hace lo mismo, ¿verdad? Ya vamos a... voy a cerrar otra vez.
It's a bit of a clumsy theory that was shared by his audience, but they told him that he should refrain from opening the door when he hears these knocks, as by doing so he might be inviting the ghostly figure to come into his house, as if these ghosts didn't already take the house as their own. I mean, a ghost doesn't need to knock on doors in order to enter a place. They pass right through it. Speaking of which, did you pass right through the channel? Because you haven't subscribed or watched the next video on screen.